Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. Thank you so much for joining us. We've been having a wonderful, wonderful week. I don't know if you guys have been tuning in to all the fabulous conversations that we've been having, but it's really been very uplifting and enlightening. On Monday, we started our week off focusing on mastering our money mindset, doing a May money mindset makeover. Say that 5 times fast, everybody. And we started over on Clubhouse, and the conversation just generated organically. It seems like we all have a little bit of work to do in terms of our money consciousness. On Tuesday, we had the fabulous Celeste Hartwell joining us. And she really, my biggest takeaway from Celeste was money wants women. And when
Mm.
you think about it this way, women, when they have money, they invest in their families, they invest in their communities, they invest in things that are, I'm just going to say it, things that are uplifting for everybody. And so money wants that. Money wants to be in a position to be doing things for the greater good. And I embraced that with both arms. I was like, yes, absolutely. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. Glad you could join us. I'm glad that Elizabeth also is able to join us over here in the Zoom. Lynn, if you want to join us, I just posted the Zoom link in the Facebook group. So you are welcome to come on over. Anybody who's watching live on Facebook, just join us over on Zoom because we need to talk about our money. We really, really do. On Wednesday, we had just a wonderful, wonderful time hanging out with Heather Esposito. And Heather was able to really share with us that we all have different money archetypes, and that when you are talking about money, it's not one size fits all, because for you to be fully expressed in your life, Jamie's going to want different things to make her happy from Elizabeth. Okay, maybe they want exactly the same thing. Maybe that's a bad example, but Davia's going to want different things from Elizabeth. No, wait, that's also a bad example. But you get my point, right? We're different. And for me, making money and being able to donate to all the charities that I want to donate to, that fills me with so much joy. For somebody else, it might be something else. So it was really exciting to work with her and have her go through with us our money archetypes, and for her to also remind us that psychology takes us so far and coaching takes us so far, but there's a little gap that's there, and that's what's going on in our bodies. And being able to bridge that gap is what helps us to actually get past a lot of our money stories and our past money mindset issues. So that was exciting. Yesterday, we worked on pricing. That was a very exciting event. And that was a private event. We didn't want to, share everybody's money stories and money figures with everybody else. So that one will not be shared with the group. If you missed it, I'm sorry. We'll probably have to try to do it again. But that was great, right, Jackie?
Oh my gosh.
That one was
I'm
outstanding.
still like, it's so filling me right now. And I'm so jazzed from having that conversation. So yeah, it was fantastic.
Yep. So we need to make sure that, we're not underpricing ourselves because of what we think the market will bear. Because the truth of the matter is, where you're setting your prices has to start with you. So that was great yesterday. I thoroughly enjoyed that session. And today we're going to talk about something that a lot of us, I don't know, we like to keep that one in the background. We don't want to think about retirement. But what if, guys, we could think about retirement in a way that was fare free? What if we were able to embrace the idea of being totally, really, really fulfilled with our retirement without having any fear surrounding that conversation? So I have a fantastic financial expert with us this morning. And that's Jackie. Many of you know her, and we're going to have her introduce herself in just a moment. But I'm very quickly going to go around the room. I'm going to invite you to say three things. Who are you? What's your business? Very briefly, because we want to give Jackie enough time to dive into what she needs to teach us this morning. So, who are you? What's your business? And then the third thing, what made you join us today on this wonderful call? Okay, so Kathy, welcome. Great to see you. Can you just share with everybody who are you? What's your business? And why are you here? Kathy, I invite you to unmute, please. There we go.
Because my husband was yelling at the cat. My name is Kathy Sterling, and I represent Takara. Some of you I know are familiar with Takara. It's a jewelry company out of Canada that has some pretty amazing items. I work with Dana Culligan, who is a good friend. And I am here today more out of curiosity. I am retired, so I just thought, I'm going to catch this one and see what I did wrong.
Well, we're not here to make you wrong, Kathy. We're here to make you right, make your retirement even better. How about that? Jamie, welcome. So good to see your shining face. Tell us who you are, what you do, and why you decided to show up with us today.
Yeah, so my name is Jamie Williams, and the name of my business is Coordinated Creativity Virtual Solutions. I am an online business manager. And I came on the call today because I know that Jackie is such a great resource. And as someone who is still working a 9-to-5, and I have my business on the side, which, who knows how long that will be for. Hopefully that will eventually switch at some point. But I think now is the time for me to learn how to make that switch in my retirement, because I'm so used to having the conventional 401k through my employer. And if I no longer have a regular employer and I'm working on my own, I want to set myself up for success now before I make that switch. So I'm excited to be here.
That's a great reason to join. And a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs will be able to identify with that for sure. So thanks for representing. Jer Elizabeth, welcome.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hill, and I am the publisher and CEO at Greenheart Living and Greenheart Living Press. I am here because Jackie Baldwin is one of my dear friends and my financial advisor. And I'm here because Dr. Davia, you're one of my dear friends as well, and really a mentor to me. And the more that I can spend time with both of you and learn how to do things in an aligned, I think of it as like financially aligned, spiritually aligned way, I want to be in that space. So thank you for creating this for us to hang out together.
So I feel like we have some amazing people here in the room. In addition, of course, to our friends who've joined us over on Facebook, we have the bling, which life is just not the same without it. Let's face it. We have an OBM who is the person everybody needs. I mean, don't try to do this all on your own. Definitely work with somebody who can support you on that. We have a publisher, tell your story, and we have my dear friend Suzanne, who is a psychotherapist, and we all need to, everybody needs to talk to somebody. Suzanne, can you share with everybody who you are, what you do, and why you joined us today?
Sure. I'm really excited to be here. Great group of people. I just love Jackie, and I am a psychotherapist, and I work with people on just resolving their limiting beliefs. And one of the limiting beliefs I have is, comes into play when it comes to money. So I'm trying to work on developing a better money management in my life, and kind of get support for that, because I do believe that we need support to learn and grow in all these different ways. So thank you for hosting this, and I'm excited to be here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Suzanne. And I want to say congratulations to you. You made a very outstanding presentation this week that I was able to be present for. So that was wonderful. Thank you. I want to introduce Jackie. Jackie, will you share with everybody who you are and what it is that you do in the world?
I would be honored to. So I am Jackie Baldwin, and I am a financial advisor, and I have been in the business since I was 2 years, no, I'm just kidding, since 1986. It's a long time. And so I've seen a lot of transitions within the financial arena. I've seen a lot of ups and downs in the markets, starting with 1987. So I feel like I'm really honed with a lot of experience, and I'm tempered, shall I say. So not a lot affects me in a negative way. So that fear of money and investing and working with people, that's kind of been borne out through all of my experience and seeing how things work. So through my own personal situation a few years back with having to leave my own marriage, and finding that we were in financial ruin, really made me decide to change my practice, and go out on my own and focus on helping women become financially empowered. Because if that could happen to me, and I am financially knowledgeable, there are so many people out there that don't have that resource and don't know who to go to for trusted advice. So I really decided this is my passion. This is what I want. This is my give back. And I want to make sure that other women don't end up in the same situation that I was in, or if they are, I can help them get out of that.
Wonderful. So Jackie, you said that you were going to share with us today, I think 7 steps to
Yes, there's so many, but
the first 7. How about that?
yes. So first of all, I would have to say, for everybody, who here has a love-hate relationship with money? Yeah, right. And really, what does that mean? It means that we are driven between extremes. We know that we believe money is going to do a lot for us on the one hand, but that money is the root of all evil on the other hand. And so we're sitting here going, oh, I want money, but then that's the root of all evil. What am I going to do about that? So today, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and really how can we, one of the first steps is to flip the script on that. Why don't we replace, rather than looking at that money is the root of all evil, what if we actually took a look at that and substituted that belief with that money valuably spent is the root, ROUTE, of financial growth. Let me say that again. Money valuably spent is the root of financial growth. And that's really important to think about, because we need to know that money here isn't going to, was it Solange? Somebody this week, I believe, said something to the effect of, I think it was maybe you, Dr. Davia, said you can say it probably more eloquently than I can, but basically money just enhances your, who you are, correct? I think that's what you were saying. So we need to look at money in a very positive way. So let's look at it. When we talk about that, we also need to say, so there's a very famous economist, entrepreneur, Robert Babson, from the first half of the 20th century, late 1800s, early 1900s there. And so I love what he says, and that is that we need to tell our dollars where to go instead of asking them where they went. So that's really kind of like step number 2. And to that end, when we talk about that, that gets into how are we going to know where our dollars are being spent? We need to have a budget. And I know a lot of people say, ooh, budget, ugh, feels like diet. But having a budget and then living by that budget is really key to knowing where your dollars are going. So for example, How many of us have monthly subscriptions to things, right? The money just comes right out of our account on a monthly basis automatically. How many times have you seen something that comes up and says 30-day free trial? So to get that 30-day free trial, we put in our bank account information, our credit card information, and we are all excited because now we get this 30-day free trial and we forget about it. So we need to kind of take a look at that, because sometimes when I go through people's budgets, we mark down all the things that people are spending, and I say, okay, well, therefore you should have X number of dollars left, and that's what we're going to work toward putting toward your retirement or anything like that. And they go, well, I don't have that amount left every month. So then we need to go back through and really say, well, where did all those dollars go? And we don't want to say, well, where did they go? We want to now redirect and make sure that they're going where we're going to tell them where to go. So that means that we need to really go through and say, okay, all these dollars went here, 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 here. Yep, those dollars, I'm going to tell those dollars they need to go to, I have a number of different softwares that I need to run my business. But then I had a number of subscriptions that I'm not using for movies. I wanted to see one movie, so I signed up for some, streaming service that then I forgot about. I realized that I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, there's like 20 bucks right there that went, and I didn't get to tell them where to go. So I stopped that and then redirected those dollars somewhere else. So that's what I mean by we need to know where our dollars are going. We need to tell them where to go and not be trying to find out where they went later. So by going through, and the easiest way to do that really is to just simply go back 3 months, go through your credit card statements, your debit card, your bank statements. It'll take you a little bit of time, but every one of those dollars should be accounted for in your budget. And that's where you're going to find the hole in your bucket. Once you've found that hole, you can seal it up, take those dollars that went somewhere you didn't know where they went and redirect them. And you'd be amazed. You can find $50, $100, $200 a month extra that you thought you never had. And then you can redirect those toward something valuable for you, like your retirement. We'll get to that in a minute. So enough about budgets, but I can help you with setting that up. I have a simple spreadsheet and we can walk through that, but I'm guaranteeing you're going to find things that you don't need. Or that you didn't even know are being charged. Another thing is that you really do, in order to be successful and live without fear, one of the biggest things that I hear from people is, oh my gosh, I've got debt. And then you start saying, well, I want to save more money, but my debt is so big, and sometimes it escalates. So one of the key things you want to do too is to kind of bring down your debt, because those are dollars that are going places that you've already spent. You don't even remember some of those things anymore that you bought. So if we can start whittling that down on a very conscientious basis, maybe the $50 you found that were going somewhere else that you weren't enjoying, put those toward the debt. And eventually that's going to come down too. You want to also have what we call a contingency plan, an emergency plan. That's really important. People lose sleep at night because they worry about the markets. They worry about what if I lost, what if for entrepreneurs, what if my income didn't come in next month that I was hoping for? Then you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, now what do I do? I'm panic stricken. If you had a contingency plan, or what happens if you're in a car accident or you get hurt and you can't work? We need to have contingency plans set up. I like to call it the belts and suspenders approach. So, when you do that, then you can sleep at night because you say, all right, if the market goes down, it's okay because I've got money saved over here for that. I don't have to worry about if the market went down because I got money that isn't in the market over here. And I work with people on that. if I can't work, it's okay, because I have, guess what? I have a way that I have a policy that's going to pay me if I can't work. Right? Wouldn't that be nice? Keep my business going. I have contingency plans. I have enough emergency savings so that when the pandemic hit back in March, we had, I had clients that lost their jobs. I had one in particular, she was a server. She was making 6 figures as a server. Pretty fantastic. But all of a sudden, she's like, all the restaurants shut down. That was no fault of hers, but she couldn't work any longer. And that was where she was, you know, providing for her family. But because she had emergency savings, it got her through until unemployment kicked in, because unemployment didn't turn on like that. So she was fine. She called me up. She goes, I don't know what to do. I said, remember, we have this emergency plan in place. And so she was able to get through and keep her family intact, not worry about anything. When we have all of these things in place, it makes us be able to sleep at night. And then money isn't controlling us. We're controlling the money. We're telling the money where to go. It's always so key. So we want to try to eliminate how much debt we have, because we don't want a lot of fixed expenses. When you have debt, you've automatically increased your fixed expenses. So enough said about debt. And we talked about emergency savings. We want to also get in the habit. You are valuable. You need to learn how to pay yourself first. You pay all of these other professionals in your life, and that's wonderful, and I do as well. But you need to be able to pay yourself first so that you have an opportunity to retire when you want to. And the earlier that you start paying yourself first in small amounts, you're going to be amazed. For example, let me just throw this one out for you. You could put in, and this may sound like a larger amount, so I'm just going to throw it out there, but $6,000 a year, which is the maximum amount that you can put into a Roth IRA. And we can touch on that too if we have time. You put that money in there for 30 years, right? Till you retire. 6,000, it's not that bad. In 30 years, if you put that into a moderate growth type of allocation, you put in about 100, I think the math is 180,000. It's grown to 1.1 million. 500 a month. So if we half that, say, okay, I can't do that right now, you'd still have well over 500,000. So smaller amounts put away on a consistent basis. Just like, so let me tell you this. So you didn't realize all those little automatic payments you had going out the door? This is just another automatic payment, but this one's you're paying yourself first. So you're not going to miss it. Once you get it set up, you're not going to miss it. It's just going to come out for you. But what you are going to see is you're going to get a statement every month, and it's going to show this balance growing for you for retirement. And again, you're telling your dollars where to go. See, I was just trying to look at some of my notes. So these are the things that you want to be doing now. As far as saving for retirement, you can start with $50 a month. That seems pretty reasonable. And if you did that starting right now, the big thing is to not wait. So I cannot tell you how many people say, oh, I don't have enough money to work with a financial advisor. That's the last piece too, is you really do need to find a financial advisor to work with that can help you. I know enough to be dangerous about like doTERRA oils or food supplements or whatever, because I can read on the online just like everybody else. But I don't know how it works for me personally. So I went to see Dr. Davia. And Dr. Davia looked at me as an individual and as a professional was able to line me out with the things that are right for my body. Because what's right for my body may not be right for Kathy's body. The supplements that I need might not be the supplements that Suzanne needs. So we need to work with someone who's a professional that can help you as an individual know what you need to be successful. Because the other question I get is people say to me, well, how much do I need to save for retirement? That's a very individual scenario, because there's a whole host of other reasons why we need to look at that, such as, do you have a pension from another employer? What's your Social Security going to look like? Do you have a spouse that has Social Security? Did you have an ex-spouse that has Social Security? Are you eligible for that? I bet you half the women that are divorced don't even understand that they are eligible if their spouse's Social Security is larger than theirs, half theirs is larger than theirs, they're eligible for that. So there's a lot of things that are very unique to an individual that we need to look at. And that's why you need to work with a financial professional that can help you unlock all those keys for you personally and what is right for you. I think I kind of touched on those 7 basics, but there's a lot of other things. Oh, so I also get asked, so that's the fear piece of it. To take the fear out of financial planning, we really do need to flip that script. And in order to do that, then once you do that, you're able to sleep better. Because remember, I've always talked about, anybody that's worked with me, I call the triad of health. You need to be financially healthy, physically healthy, and emotionally healthy. Because when you have, and spiritually, that's emotional, spiritual, all 3 of those need to be in good, healthy situations. Because if they're not, they affect the other 2. So for example, if I am not able to work because I don't feel well, I'm not physically able to, well, that affects my financial and my emotional, right? I'm a mess because I'm worried. If I am financially not healthy, again, I worry, I'm not sleeping, I'm probably not eating properly, so that affects the other 2. And if I'm perpetually worried and anxious about things all the time, again, it's going to prevent me from focusing on what I need to do for my job. And it's going to make me unhealthy physically. So those 3 areas have got to be your top priority. And when you do that, that's when you start, the fear goes away. And you're like, oh, okay, now I've got a plan in place. I have all the right professionals in place to help me get there. And so one of the things that people say to me is, well, okay, so I know I should be saving for retirement. Where should I be saving for retirement? I've heard Social Security might not even be around anymore. Well, let me tell you, I do believe Social Security is going to continue. There's a lot of things that they can do to, I want to alleviate that fear. It may not look exactly like it does today, but that's okay, because we're all living longer. It used to be that everybody collected Social Security at 62. Well, now people are waiting until sometimes age 70 to collect Social Security. Well, we're also living a whole lot longer than we did 20, 30 years ago. There's a lot of things that they can do to keep Social Security going. So don't let what I like to call their financial entertainers on TV. They don't have to. I have to follow compliance rules and continuing education and all of that kind of stuff. So these financial entertainers are there to, just provide all this information out there for you. They don't have to follow all those guidelines. So sometimes what they're saying to you isn't quite right, or it's not appropriate just for you. So Social Security is going to be there in some form or another. A lot of times people say, well, how can how much money do I need to live on? Well, again, that goes back to saving. What it really comes down to is we need to have an income stream when you retire. How do we get an income stream? Well, Social Security, pensions, or you create your own pension. What does that mean? Well, my dad worked for Pratt & Whitney for, I don't know, 35 years. So between Social Security and a pension, my parents were golden, and they had a little bit of, they had some savings on top of that. Today, many employers aren't creating a pension. So we need to create our own pension when we retire. So we can do that. And I can, a financial advisor can help you do that. But we want to make sure that what we do is we save enough money during our working years to then turn that into a lifetime income for you. When you have a lifetime income, rather than sitting here looking at, I have $1 million and then I feel scared because I'm going to spend it down. I can't spend a dime when I get into retirement. There's this thing called scarcity, retirement mindset, and it's a scarcity in retirement. People don't want to spend money because they see this pot of money. If I told you that we can create a pension for you that you will never outlive, and we can cover all of your basic expenses in retirement, wouldn't that make you sleep better? And you'd be like, I don't care what the market does. I'm good. All my basic expenditures are covered. And then I got this pot of money where I can have fun. I can go buy a boat. I can go travel. I can do all these things because I know that I have a lifetime income that's never going to run out. And so those are the kinds of things that we want to work toward during your working years, is to be able to create this pension for you.
See, this is great information, Jackie. And I think even though you gave us a lot of really good information and a lot of great tips, I think the best tip that you gave us is talk to a professional, because it really is not one size fits all. And what is going to be amazing for me might be very, very different for Jamie. And so there is so much value to, I think we underestimate how much we need this sort of advice. And I love that you used me as an example of why you want to go to a professional, because you know a lot. And there are lots of financial entertainers out there that share a lot of things that are not completely accurate or might not be accurate for you. So it really, really is important to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. I want to just open it up really, really quickly. If everybody can stay on for another 5 minutes or so, and open it up really quickly for any questions that you guys might have of Jackie. Anybody have any questions, concerns, deep burning issues? Maybe not deep burning issues. What was your biggest takeaway? Suzanne, thanks for unmuting.
Yeah, I mean, this is so helpful, Jackie, because it makes me feel hope. Like, because like the idea that I can create a pension, and just, it's like this belief that I don't have enough money. But I think what you're talking about is looking at where your money is going.
Yes.
And that is really like such an important thing. And I really resist that so much.
We all
People have
do.
been saying that for years. Make a budget, know where your money's going. And it's like, I just avoid it. But I think it's really what I need to do. And that really just decide where I want my money to go.
Yes.
It makes me feel more empowered, what you're saying. And I'm definitely going to make an appointment with you because I just don't have the skills, and I need to get help with it. So it's so helpful.
And I will share with you too, Suzanne, you're not alone in being afraid, or not afraid, but avoiding. It really is fear, though, I think, when it comes down to it, of creating that budget. Because you're afraid, like, oh my goodness, what is it? Now I'm going to have to do something with that. But it's actually so empowering. And I will walk you through that whole budget process. I'll even be your secretary. I've done it with people. I get on Zoom and I'll enter it all in for you. I'll just say, okay, get all your financials out, give them to me, and I enter them in for you. And we do it together. Sometimes having somebody sit with you and just hold space with you helps you have that courage and strength to get through it. Doing it on your own can be very frightening, but having someone sit there and say, okay, great. And nothing phases me, don't worry. I never sit there going, you spend money on what? I'm never judgmental, never.
What? You needed a crystal unicorn for what?
Yeah, right.
But I like crystal unicorns.
So, but yeah, I'm here to help anybody walk through that, because that is probably the single most scariest part of starting your financial journey into financial empowerment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Does anybody else have any questions or anything else that you want to share with us before we wrap up? No? Okay, so Jackie, final words. If we take nothing else away from your conversation today, what's the one thing that you would love for us to remember?
So I always tell people, don't be like the person who doesn't want to hire or cleans your house before you have the person come in to clean your house, right? So how, right? Because we're embarrassed. Oh, I don't want them to see the dirty sink, so I better clean it. No, the people who are coming to clean your house have seen it all, and they're just coming to help you because that's what they do. So don't wait until you think that you're financially healthy or in a better spot, or you don't have a messy budget or whatever. Come to a financial advisor before, because that's when you need us the most, is when you are not all put together. Don't wait to be put together to come to see me.
Or else you'll wait forever.
You will wait forever.
True story.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I thank you so much, Jackie, for sharing with us today. There's so much more to unpack, so I would invite us all to hop on over to the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group and we can continue the conversation in the chat over there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the call. But it's Friday and the party continues. Later today at 1 o'clock, we have Veronica Worth, and she is going to be talking about healing our money stories. And she is a business shaman. Who here has ever even heard of a business shaman? You might not have, but you need one. I'm just going to tell you, she's my business shaman. She chants to her people on behalf of my business, and it's superstar effective. So I invite you, listen, don't walk, run. Come on over, join us at 1 o'clock, and we're going to heal our money stories together with Veronica. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and I'll see you guys on the next show. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.